Watching parents age hits differently in a way that is quiet but very deep. It is not a sudden shock like a loud noise or a big life event. Instead, it feels like a slow change that you only notice when you stop and really look. One day, you see a few gray hairs. Another day, you notice that they move a little slower than before. At first, these changes seem small and not very important. You may even ignore them because your mind still sees your parents as strong, active, and always there for you. But over time, these small signs start to connect, and you begin to understand something that is not easy to accept. Your parents are getting older, and life is changing in a way you cannot stop. When we are children, we see our parents as people who know everything. They solve problems, make decisions, and protect us from danger. They're like a strong wall that keeps us safe. Because of this, we build a picture in our mind that our parents will always be this way. Even when we grow up, a part of us still believes that they will not change. This belief is comfortable. It helps us feel safe in a world that is often uncertain. But reality does not follow our feelings. Time keeps moving and people change, even the ones we love the most. The first time you really notice your parents aging can feel strange. Maybe your father asks you to help him carry something heavy, something he used to do easily. Maybe your mother forgets a small thing, like where she put her keys. These moments are not big problems, but they stay in your mind longer than you expect. You start to think about them again later, and you feel a quiet worry that you cannot fully explain. It is not just about that one moment. It is about what it means. As you grow older, your relationship with your parents also changes. When you were young, they were the ones who took care of everything. They told you what to do, what to avoid, and how to live. But slowly, this role begins to shift. You become more independent. You make your own choices. At the same time, your parents may start to depend on you in small ways. At first, it may only be simple things like helping with technology or giving advice. But emotionally, the change is bigger. You begin to see them not only as parents, but also as people with fears, weaknesses, and limits. This realization can be difficult because it breaks the image you have held for many years. It is not that your parents are less important or less strong. It is just that they are human like everyone else. They get tired. They feel pain. They worry about the future. When you see this clearly, you may feel a mix of emotions. You may feel love because you understand them better, but you may also feel sadness because you know that time is limited. One of the hardest parts of watching parents age is the feeling that time is moving too fast. You may look back and wonder where all the years went. It feels like not long ago you were a child, holding their hand, walking next to them. Now you're the one who walks a little slower, so they can keep up. This change is not only physical, it is emotional. It reminds you that life is not permanent and that every moment is more valuable than you once thought. Sometimes people try to avoid this feeling. They stay busy with work, friends, or personal goals. They tell themselves that there will always be time later to visit, to talk, or to show care. But deep inside, there is a small voice that knows this is not completely true. Watching parents age makes that voice louder. It pushes you to think about your priorities and what really matters. Another important part of this experience is regret. Not always, but often. You may remember times when you were impatient, when you did not listen, or when you chose something else instead of spending time with them. At that moment, those choices felt normal. You were living your life. But when you see your parents aging, those memories can come back in a different way. You may wish you had been more present, more kind, or more understanding. However, this feeling does not have to be only negative. It can also be a chance to change. The fact that you notice these things means you still have time to act differently. You can choose to call more often, to visit more, or simply to listen when they speak. These actions may seem small, but they can have a big meaning. For your parents, your time and attention are often more important than anything else. Watching parents age also teaches you about responsibility. It is not only about helping them with tasks. It is about being emotionally present. It means understanding that they may feel afraid of losing independence or worried about the future. Sometimes they may not say these feelings directly, but you can feel them in the way they talk or behave. Being there for them means being patient, even when it is not easy. At the same time, it is important to keep balance. Caring for parents does not mean losing yourself. You still have your own life, your own dreams, and your own path. The challenge is to find a way to do both, to move forward in your life while still staying connected to them. This is not always simple, but it is possible with awareness and effort. Another thing that hits differently is the role reversal. There may come a time when you need to guide your parents, just like they guided you before. This can feel uncomfortable at first. It may even feel wrong because it goes against everything you are used to. But over time, you begin to understand that this is a natural part of life. Just as they once helped you grow, now you are in a position to support them. In these moments, respect is very important. Even if your parents need help, they still have their dignity and their identity. The way you speak to them, the way you treat them, matters a lot. They are not just people who need care. They are individuals with a lifetime of experiences, memories, and wisdom. Remembering this can help you act with kindness and understanding. Watching parents age also changes the way you see yourself. You begin to think more about your own future. You realize that one day you may be in the same position. This thought can be uncomfortable, but it can also be helpful. It can encourage you to live more fully, to take care of your health, and to build meaningful relationships. It also makes you think about what truly matters in life. Success, money, and achievements are important, but they may not feel as meaningful as connection and love. When you see your parents getting older, you understand that time with people you care about is limited. This understanding can change your choices in a positive way. There is also beauty in this experience, even if it is mixed with sadness. Watching parents age can bring you closer to them. Conversations may become deeper. You may share stories, memories, and thoughts that you never talked about before. These moments can create a strong emotional bond that is different from the one you had when you were younger. In some cases, you may also see a softer side of your parents. They may become more open, more honest, or more emotional. This can be surprising, especially if they were always strong and quiet before. But it gives you a chance to know them in a new way, not just as parents, but as people. It is also important to accept that not everything will be perfect. There may be disagreements, misunderstandings, or difficult moments. Aging can bring stress, both for parents and for children. The key is not to expect everything to be easy, but to stay patient and keep trying to understand each other. At its core, watching parents age is a reminder of the cycle of life. It shows you that change is natural, even when it is painful. It teaches you to appreciate the present, to care more deeply, and to live with more awareness. These lessons are not always easy, but they are valuable. In the end, what matters most is how you respond to this experience. You cannot stop time, and you cannot prevent your parents from aging. But you can choose how you spend your time with them. You can choose to be present, to listen, and to show love in simple ways. Watching parents age hits differently because it touches something very personal.
It is not just about them.
It is about you, your memories, your feelings, and your understanding of life. It is a quiet but powerful experience that changes how you see the world. And maybe, in a way, that is the purpose of it. Not to make you feel only sad, but to help you grow. To remind you that love should be expressed while there is still time. To show you that even though life changes, connection can remain strong. So instead of turning away from this feeling, it may be better to face it, to accept that it is part of life, to use it as a reason to be more present, more kind, and more aware. Because in the end, the moments you share with your parents, especially as they age, are some of the most real and meaningful moments you will ever have.